culture plays a big role in the manifestation of our eating disorders. It does not cause eating disorders. I'm not saying it causes it. But for people that are predetermined to have an eating disorder, our society really plays a big role in that, to trigger it. So let's talk about the media for a second. It's super disturbing to see children that are concerned with their weight, but it is reality, especially as the notion that skinny equals beauty grows daily from our advertising media. I have sadly, personally, seen 8-year-olds on feeding tubes in residential facilities. It is the most heartbreaking thing you can ever see in your life. 8 years old on feeding tubes with eating disorders. I've seen 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, and of course, everything up from there. It's pitiful. But we're continually exposed via media to the notion that losing weight is going to make us happier, more successful, more popular, sexier, and more powerful. We're just constantly flooded with those ads. They're counterproductive to good self-image, but we are flooded, and I can't do it single-handedly to get them to stop. So I need your help, basically. 400 to 600 advertisements bombard us every single day, magazines, billboards, TV, and in newspapers. 1 in 11 has a direct message about beauty, not even counting the indirect messages. How many of you have heard the brand new press release from Pepsi? Nobody? Well, I just shared it with you, too, both of you. All right, so get this. Just the other day, actually it's been about a week now, Pepsi just announced their marketing plan to package Diet Pepsi in a taller, sassier, new, skinny can in celebration of beautiful, confident women. The new can is making its official debut at New York's Fall 2011 Fashion Week next week. The company claims the can is the perfect complement to today's most stylish looks. The press release refers to the can as attractive 3 times and uses the phrase slim and attractive twice, stating, "Because ladies never ever forget, thin equals beautiful, always." So, some of you in this audience are just here for the heck of it, may just think, oh, come on, you're overreacting, whatever. The rest of us know the impact that has made on yourselves or your family members. Not just one statement taken out of context, but this is what all the statements, 600 a day we're seeing in ads. Those are just the direct ones. The indirect ones, that subliminal ones that get into our minds since the day we're born, are killing every single generation. And you'll see that tonight with the ages of our speakers. But, well, you're going to hear more statistics later, but CNN, from that press release, reported, but for consumers who prefer the short and fat product, the company assures us it will remain on the shelves as well. So, I don't need a show of hands, but there are people in this room that are in the midst of the devastating eating disorder illness. They're under the chains that bind them from Ed. Just think about it, you people in here that have an eating disorder. If you read that, what CNN said, how many of you will not be seen dead because you're in the middle of an eating disorder and you haven't had treatment with me yet? How many of you would be not caught dead drinking from the short fat bottle in March when this campaign comes out? Don't raise your hand. Think about it. And those of you that are in recovery, you know what I'm talking about because your mind thought that way recently. And those of you that have no clue what I'm talking about because you don't have an eating disorder, I'm telling you, that's how people with eating disorders think. They hear something like that and they're like, oh, oh my God, people are going to see me as fat. Oh my God, I can't drink that short fat Diet Pepsi can anymore. I gotta use that small, thin, slim one. It's twisted, distorted, irrational thinking. But that's what marketing does. It's all psychology. And people that have eating disorders are extremely vulnerable to that. To you normal-minded people, you probably are sitting here thinking, oh my God, the psychologist is nuts. No, I'm not. I'm the one helping the ones that think that way. The messages permeate the psyches of people that are that vulnerable. And it just spirals from there. It's not a choice. The president, Lynn Grief, and CEO of NIDA, responded to the comment from PepsiCo and CNN, because NIDA is on top of all of these Fortune 500 companies and everybody else. And she said, it is painful that a major Fortune 500 company needs to denigrate the majority of women in this country to sell their products. Most women are not skinny, nor should we encourage them to be anything but our own personal healthy size. The focus should be on health. All women, whatever their body type, should be sassy and confident in their individuality and their body. Pepsi should be ashamed for declaring that skinny is to be celebrated. PepsiCo's comments are both thoughtless and irresponsible. You see, NIDA doesn't have a problem with the mere use of the word skinny. For instance, it didn't protest skinny jeans, but it did have a problem with Apple's first iPod campaign because it promoted the message, you can never be too thin or too powerful. However, after being contacted, Apple took down the campaign almost immediately. We're proud of that. We're Apple people. Okay. Did you know that most fashion models are thinner than 98% of American women? You have to understand that. They are photoshopped. They don't look that way when they wake up. They go through 8 hours of hair and makeup and they're photoshopped and their arms are cut off. I mean, not cut off. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. They're cut like this, and so are their legs and all of their blemishes, and it's all Photoshop. I know. Well, not because I'm a model or anything, but I know, I've seen the professionals I go to national and international conferences for eating disorders every year. They bring in all the professional photographers from all over the world, and they literally showed us this last year. The professional photographers, and they brought in a professional model, and they showed us exactly how it's done on all the technology.